You are now listening to the Go Getter Showcase, a weekly podcast highlighting the elements of success within professional and entrepreneurial women from various industries and walks of life. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful, excellent, magnificent day. I am going to keep this introduction short and sweet and to the point and just tell you a little bit about our guest. So today's go-getter is DeAndrea Bryd. DeAndrea Bryd is a self-taught entrepreneur who has launched multiple successful businesses in both a brick and mortar setting as well as in the online market. Over the years, her brands have grown and blossomed into a higher purpose. As a seasoned business strategist and coach, DeAndrea has a passion for entrepreneurship and now enjoys sharing the process she used to grow by helping other entrepreneurs achieve their dreams. DeAndrea has a main focus in the area of business strategy, profit-focused productivity, digital product creation, and automation. She founded the Entrepreneur Accountability Squad, a group coaching membership designed for entrepreneurs looking to scale their businesses and increase their personal development skills. DeAndrea is constantly invited to host corporate goal setting workshops, speak at various event planning workshops, women's conferences, high schools, and more. In this episode, DeAndrea discusses becoming a serial entrepreneur by meeting the additional needs of her existing hairdressing clientele and other people she knew, how the influence of being raised by a single mom and the desire to create generational wealth for her family inspires her work ethic, how motherhood has changed her and her career trajectory, learning time management in order to run multiple businesses and be present for her family, how her late business partner and her grandmother have inspired and motivated her and pushed her to continue her success today, and passing on her extensive business knowledge to her coaching clients and her daughters. What I will say is I absolutely loved interviewing DeAndrea. She is just such a wealth of knowledge and she's just such a kind-hearted person. You can hear that in the interview. Unfortunately, the audio quality with this particular interview wasn't as good as some of the other ones, so you will have to listen to a few things very, very closely. But if you do, I promise you it's still worth the time to listen. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. So welcome to the show, DeAndrea. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm absolutely excited to be here. My name is DeAndrea Bryd, and I am a business coach. I help entrepreneurs create digital products and automate their systems so that they can free up their time, spend more time with their family, and make more money.
Great. So how long have you been doing that for?
I've been in business for about 5 years. I'm actually a serial entrepreneur. I own a successful salon, and I currently own a kid party company as well.
Great. So tell us about the other two business ventures that you had previously.
So I originally started a salon in Stone Mountain, Georgia called The Beautiful Brand, and that's kind of where all of my other businesses stem from. I owned the salon, and that's how I started throwing kids' birthday parties from my clients at the salon, and that's how I developed my business, Tutu Maniac, which is a kids' birthday party company, and Tutu Boutique. We provide custom birthday parties and boutique-style birthday tutu sets. A lot of the questions I got from my business, women would ask me, hey, DeAndrea, how do you do it? How do you own a successful business? How are you a mom? How do you do it all? So even in my salon, I was giving people advice on how to start businesses for free, and it blossomed today now into my coaching business. I decided to stop doing hair in about 2015 because my business partner passed away, and I just didn't love it anymore. So today I'm doing what I love. I'm helping others start their own businesses and create generational wealth from their family.
Amazing. I mean, it's sad to hear about your business partner and all those things, but to be able to kind of grow and evolve from it and say, you know what, even though I don't want to do this, I can go and do something else because you already have a skill set available to you that allows you to just, start multiple businesses time and time again. So tell me a little bit about the kids' birthday parties and what kind of inspired you to do that? I know that that's something that us as parents, we always think about every single year, especially those with multiple kids. So tell us about where you got the original idea from and then kind of what types of parties you specialize in.
So Tutu Maniac was actually discovered by accident. So I have two daughters, and My youngest daughter loved tutus. I mean, she would literally make me make her tutus to sleep in. She would jump in the pool with tutus. So my other daughter called her a tutu maniac. And it was so funny. I kept calling her a little tutu maniac. Their friends, my family, my neighbors, they began to ask me, hey, how much will you charge me to make a tutu? I see Zori's always wearing tutus. So then it just developed into a business. It caught fire. Like people were just asking me, hey, how much will you charge me? I need a tutu for 4th of July. I need a tutu for Easter. And because I know how to sew, my grandma taught me how to sew when I was 10 years old. It just became second nature. And I enjoyed doing it, so I did. Even in the salon, people would say, hey, do you guys do kids' birthday parties? So I came up with the idea to do spa parties, but also offer the girls a tutu and a tiara to make them feel like a princess on their birthday. And that's how Tutu Maniac was developed from my kids and the clients in my salon asking for kids spa parties, which are my most popular parties. Spa parties are my most popular parties. People love to book spa parties for their daughters.
Great. So backing up a little bit, how many kids do you have of your own?
So I have 3 plus 2. I have 3 kids that are biologically mine. My youngest is 8. I have an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old. So my oldest is a boy and my younger 2 are girls. I also have 2 stepdaughters that are age 16 and 18. They're my bonus babies.
Right. So you're definitely an expert at the kids' birthday party thing then, from personal experience.
Definitely.
Great. So yeah, one of the things that you said earlier, and I think it's probably a good segue, is people, like you said, people have asked you, how do you balance being a mom as well as obviously a wife and, running all these multiple businesses? I know for me personally, my kids are really what inspires me and drives me to do it because, I'm a single mom and I don't get much support. So it's kind of like, I eat what I kill, and so don't my kids. And so what is it that allows you to do all of these multiple things?
Number one, it's funny that you said that you're a single mom. My mom was a single mom, and she kind of inspired my entrepreneurship. Although she was a teacher, she always kept some type of side business or side hustle to make sure that we had the things that we need, and she could spend time with us as well. I remember one of her first businesses was weekend waymakers, where people could drop their kids off, and she had like a daycare in the bottom of our house on the Friday, and had to pick them up on Sunday, like if they wanted to go out, get a break, and that type of thing. I mean, she had so many businesses. That was just the one I know she was most consistent with. So for me, I knew that when I had children, I wanted to create a space for them so that they didn't have to worry about working so hard or just, the overhead of bills where they could be themselves. So I decided that entrepreneur was the route for me. Even though I have a background in the medical field, entrepreneur has always been at the top of my tunnel vision. And I want my kids to be able to have trust fund babies so they can grow up and be who they want to be and not have to worry about, the stress of making ends meet and create generational wealth. Well, I didn't come from a rich family, but hopefully before I'm done, my family will be rich.
Right, absolutely. So tell us about your coaching business too, because I know that you said that people were asking you for advice, so you kind of just decided to flip that into a business. So talk about how you got into coaching, and kind of like some of the coaching packages that you offer now.
So let me just be honest and say I learned a lot of things the hard way. So I was giving people like information for free. They were going out making $10,000 a month, just going out making money because I'm a natural born helper. I'm the oldest child, the oldest grandchild, and I'm a teacher by nature, and I like to help people. So I was giving out tons of information for free. It wasn't until one day my business coach stopped me and was like, DeAndrea, this is what you do with ease. Like, why aren't you charging for your coaching services? And I was like, I don't know. So I just thought about, what would I do if I was a coach? When I first started my business, what are some things that I needed help with? What are some things that I struggled with? So I developed a program called the Entrepreneur Accountability Squad. It's a group coaching program for entrepreneurs who are just getting started or entrepreneurs who've been in business for at least 3 to 5 years and they want to learn how to create digital products and stop trading their time for dollars and make money in their sleep and automate their system so that their business isn't solely dependent on their presence. So the Entrepreneur Accountability Squad, it is a group coaching program. We meet 3 Sundays out of the month at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Zoom, where I do live trainings and workshops and webinars. There's also a course classroom that you can go in and just look at the trainings when you have time. And it's a $99 a month investment, but I do expect you to scale up in your business at the end of 12 weeks. You should be seeing a scale in your business.
What have been some of the benefits of being able to pass along knowledge through another entrepreneurial endeavor? Because like you said before, you're the type of person who enjoys helping people. Even though this is a service, just like doing hair, just like you throwing kids' birthday parties or making tutus, does this business impact you differently than some of the other service businesses that you've had because you enjoy helping people?
Definitely. I like doing hair, but it was something I was also good at. So sometimes I got a joy out of it, and sometimes, it was just for the money. The long hours, I did trade my time for dollars. Like, I missed games on Saturdays. I missed out on things because in order to actually make money, I had to be present. So I always wasn't happy when I was making money either, because I was trading happiness for dollars too. Fast forward to my current, ability to coach people. Just a joy. Like, one of my coaching clients, I was able to help her turn her hobby into a profitable business. She recently, she has 2 boys. She was driving Uber on the weekends on top of working a job just to make ends meet. She got set up on Etsy, and now she's making more money from her Etsy business than she was making with her, side job of driving with Uber. She's also developed a podcast, and she's launched her business to the point where she's on schedule to be able to quit her job next year and go back to school.
Wonderful. So let's back it up even a little bit more. Before you started the hair business, what was it that you were doing? Were you, always working for yourself? Did you go to college? Did you, have a 9 to 5, have a different type of job? What were you doing before you really became an entrepreneur for the first time?
So I always wanted to do hair, and I always wanted to own a salon. I mean, even as a child, I did all my projects on Madam C.J. Walker and Cleopatra. The reason I like Madam C.J. Walker, because she was a millionaire, a self-made millionaire at that time, all the way back then. The reason why I like Cleopatra is because she was a queen, but I also like the Egyptian culture, the glam, the beauty, the beautification, and the way they were able to, create hair dye and things like that. My mom was a teacher, so when I graduated and told her I wanted to go to hair school, she was like, no, you're going to get your education, because my family believes in education. So I went to the University of West Georgia. I didn't finish there. I ended up getting my associate's degree in health information administration. I got pregnant at 21 and ended up working in the medical field as a medical assistant, and then I worked my way up to doing billing and coding. When I got pregnant with my second child, I knew it was time to look. I don't want to get stuck in this corporate world. I don't want to get stuck trading my time for dollars, not being able to go to my kids' events, putting them in daycare. So I took a chance and I went back to hair school, and that's how I started, getting back into the hair field and doing what I wanted to do and love. I got sidetracked along the way, but I found my way back to entrepreneurship.
So yeah, I had actually wanted to go to vocational school where I could go to school for cosmetology and get my high school diploma at the same time. My mom, who was like a first generation college graduate, she was like, absolutely not. People don't take vocational school seriously. Like, you're going to regular high school. And then ended up going to hair school after the fact, and it's something that I didn't like, and it was something that I wasn't good at, and I was only really doing hair for about 18 months, and so I keep on like kicking myself like for acquiring all this student debt to go to hair school when I could have probably just gone to vocational school and then determined that I didn't like it and, have moved on. So I definitely know what it's like to have parents who kind of try to redirect your educational path, even though, education has changed a lot in what a college degree means and what kind of jobs that can get you. A lot of that has changed since our parents were in school or of age to be going to college. So totally understand and totally get that. So one of the things that you also said was when you got into the salon, you were also trading your time for dollars, which is, again, doing hair. It's very time intensive. It's definitely rigorous. You're working with your client schedules, which are typically, weekdays and weekends and things of that nature. And so, tell me about, when you are working in a hair salon and you're working some of these crazy hours, and it's something that you do love and it's something that you're good at and you're passionate about. What is the difference between trading your time for dollars for something that you love versus something that you don't enjoy?
So when you go to a job, you trade your time for dollars because in order to get paid, you have to put in the hours. But meanwhile, you may be doing things that you don't love just to get money. And that's what I was doing. I mean, the medical field, I was very good at. I make myself be good at whatever that I'm doing. I try to be the best, get to work on time, get to work early, do my best, study. However, I just didn't love it. I did it because I was good at it. I had gotten pregnant at 21, and I just knew that I needed some security, and the medical field was booming at that time. Whereas I got to be creative with doing hair. Like I love to color. Right now my hair is red. My daughter's hair is like a tint of purple. Coloring is like what I love to do. I'm really good at certain types of weaves and micro links and that type of thing. So I got to be creative and do new styles. Whereas if one of my kids had a game on Saturday, 9 times out of 10 I would be late getting there because most people want to get their hair done on the weekend. While you may have some clientele coming in during the week, I mean, most women that are working women who can pay you to do their hair are off on the weekends. So in the beginning, it was kind of hard to balance my family life and my work life. Even my husband would complain at times, like, you're always in that shop. Like, do you care more about your business than your family? So I had to learn how to just schedule my time properly and have better time management skills as an adult. I don't think that was something that I learned at a young age, but as an adult in my 20s, I really, really learned and honed in on my time management skills so that I could just be a better person overall.
Right, and I definitely know that experience. Yeah, when my son was about to turn 2, like that's when I had stopped working in the salon. I remember that very first Saturday just being able to be at home with him. I was like, I'm never going to work Saturdays again because somebody tells me I have to. If I ever work a Saturday again, it's because I want to, and I haven't since then. So I can definitely understand, the how much time it can take away from your family doing a job like hairdressing, which is something that you can make a lot of money out of it, but you also have to put so much time and so much effort and so much training and so many other things into becoming a successful, really profitable hairdresser. So, do you have any other business ventures kind of on the horizon in the future? Do you have anything else coming up with your existing coaching programs? Do you plan on expanding your tutu business, your kids' birthday parties, or anything like that?
So currently, I published a book called How to Plan Events for Profit because that's one of the big things that I do here in Atlanta with Tutu Maniac. I do kids expos at Greenbrier Mall, and I plan a lot of events. So I wrote the book to teach entrepreneurs just how to incorporate events into their business model and stop leaving money on the table. That way they can have a little bit more fun and offset some of their low profit months. So that's one of the things that I'm working on. I wrote the book about 2 years ago, but I'm working on doing a boot camp just to teach entrepreneurs. You can even do online events from the comfort of your own home just to attract your lead magnets or your target audience. That's one of the things I'm working on is a boot camp just to, help entrepreneurs go ahead and get ready for 2020 and get some of that event money coming into their business model. I'm also working on helping my kids, my daughters. They're developing a T-shirt line called Bubblegum Vintage where they want to have their own Shopify store and sell T-shirts. So that's in the pipeline coming down too.
That's so cool. I mean, I know so many other people who are starting businesses and they're trying to get their kids into business as well. Sometimes it is something like a t-shirt business, something small that they would be able to manage, something small that they have the liberty to be creative with, and, something that they can take to school. You can wear your own t-shirt to school and maybe like a pin saying, I made this, like ask me about it or something like that. So that's super neat. So, talk about, kind of being the manager and overseeing some of the processes of, raising some kidpreneurs.
Sometimes they have to understand that I'm in mommy mode sometimes, and then I'm in business coach mode other times. And sometimes it's hard for them to, decide between the two. Because as mom, I'm a little bit more understanding, and you can pull at my heartstrings. Whereas if we're working on business, it's no nice in business. I need you to get done the things that I told you to get done so that we can move further. Um, it's a little hard for my 8 year old too sometimes just to understand, business concepts, and she's really playful, but that's fine. She's only 8 years old, whereas my 11-year old, she understands business concepts, so she helps pick up the slack where her sister doesn't, quite understand. So she's really helpful. It can be frustrating at times because I'm their mom. I tell them all the time, I'm your mother, not your maid. I still need you to do work. This is your business, something that you came to me that you wanted to do. So you have to show me that you want it. So that's why it hasn't fully launched yet. But like I said, it's in the making. They have a few things that they need to work on before I'm comfortable with launching their, ads and that type of thing.
Right. So, kind of talking about the relationship that they have with you as their manager, what kind of relationship do they have with them between the two of them in business? Is it any different than their sisterly relationship? Or, does the older one sometimes get on the younger one about certain things not getting done? What's that relationship like when they're working together?
So they have a typical sister relationship. The oldest is bossy, the youngest is annoying, and that trickles over into their business partnership. However, it's just amazing when I do see them come together when they're in front of people. It's like they act like they're best friends. Like I can just see the sisterly love there, and they work so well together. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all just arguing the whole way here. Who are these people? Like, where did you come from? But it's like a click on switch. Like they're so there for each other, and I'm like, wow. And I never had a sister, so I'm like, wow. I grew up with a brother. He was all rough, so our love was a little different. So when I see that light click on, I'm like, wow, they work really well together, and they have each other's back, and they cover for each other. So I do love that.
Right. That is a beautiful thing. So do you see any skills that they've developed, whether it's their social skills or anything else that you think is beneficial that you can kind of attribute to helping them to begin to start this business?
It's definitely helped their social skills. My 8 year old signed up for the talent show on her own accord and actually won second place. And I think it's from me, working with them guys, working with them on their pitch. Her sister, telling her to get up in front of people and speak because she used to be like this bubbly personality that got in front of people and froze. And now that bubbly personality is, people, she shows it now. And my older daughter, she's always been very, very vocal and outgoing. But and when she got in middle school last year, I kind of noticed that she got a little quiet and worried about what people said a little bit more. But since she's been working on her business this past year, I see the confidence in her. It definitely makes her more confident in who she is. And I always tell her, it's not that you're bossy. Maybe you're going to be a boss one day. You just need to learn how to tune your leadership skills. Cause does get called bossy a lot.
Right. And I mean a lot of that's typical too. Bossy or, being the younger sibling and, I feel like my kids are actually the opposite of that. Like my 2-year old, he is very much like his dad. Like he doesn't want to be bothered. If he's doing something, let him do what he's doing. And my older one likes to be up in everyone's face about everything. So it's almost like a different dynamic. My 2-year old doesn't even talk and he's like the bossy one, whereas the 8-year old is obnoxious. So it's definitely like a very different dynamic than what you typically see. But, I feel like maybe there's probably always one, so let's talk a little bit more about you and, can you tell me a little bit about, a pivotal moment in your life that helped create you to be the person that you are today?
So, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I always tell people East Atlanta made me and DeKalb County raised me. I grew up in the city and I would get bused to DeKalb County to go to school. My mom was a teacher. Um, Graduated from Reading High School. I ended up marrying my high school sweetheart. We weren't always together, but that's who I ended up marrying. and we now have 3 kids. Honestly, what really changed my life, I know when I was in college and graduated from college, the pregnancy of my first child really kind of changed my life and made me into a different person. I was a lot more selfish, and I always was one of those people that said I was never having kids and never getting married. And voila, there's been a coin flip on that. So it just changed me. It made me I was so goal oriented. Sometimes I have tunnel vision to the point where I don't see anything else, and I'm like in my own little world. And definitely getting pregnant and having a child made me see that, there are other things in life. Yeah, you have to have tunnel vision, but you also have to stop and, live in the present, have fun, do a cartwheel, eat some ice cream. You can still focus on your goals and be a person, not a robot. So that was one of my pivotal moments. I think the second most thing that changed me was the fact that my business partner died at 33 and my grandmother died a few months later. Like, that made me realize that, man, listen, life is short. Stop being a perfectionist. Like, get your shit together and just live. Excuse my language. But those two things made me just wake up and understand that it's okay not to be a perfectionist. I had a real issue with, like, just trying to be a perfectionist, and that's not always life. Sometimes it's messy. You're going to make mistakes, but so what? You still have to breathe, live, eat, and have a good time.
Absolutely. So, did you get pregnant while you were attending college?
I was actually almost finished. I did my internship while I had my son in my stomach. And it was like a huge thing in my family. I grew up in the church. They were like, oh, you're pregnant out of wedlock, that type of thing, trying to harass me, to like hurry up and get married. So that was just like a huge turning point in my life. Like, I had to just deal with who I am as a person versus who my family wanted me to be.
Right. So ultimately, what did you choose? Like being the person that you wanted to be or being the person that your family decided that you should be?
I chose me. I decided that they had their life to live and I had mine. They can't live my life in theirs too.
Right. Which is a good perspective to have. So one of the things that you said is that, you were kind of selfish and you had like, you just were so focused on doing what you felt like you wanted to do. So what was kind of like, do you remember a specific point in time, like as a new mom where it was just kind of like, oh crap, like, this isn't all about me, or, I really need to change some things in order to, accommodate motherhood now? Did you have any particular moments? Was it the moment that you saw your child? Like, what was it that really, when it really clicked for you? Like, there are some things that definitely need to change in order for me to be a really good mom.
Well, the first thing is my son was premature. He was due May 14th, 2 days after my birthday, but I actually had him in March. So just that struggle of bringing him here was like, oh shoot, like this is real. He was 3 pounds. I had to leave him behind in the hospital until he got 4 pounds for 13 days. He was really small. Like I said, I never wanted children, but I had so many problems with my pregnancy because I have I was born with a short cervix. So never knew that until I got pregnant. I was able to, take care of that with my other kids, but just getting him here was like, wow, you must have been supposed to make it here. Like all this stress that me and you went through, little boy. Like you have to have a purpose here on earth. So the fact that I was so young, having to leave my child behind in the hospital, wait until he gained weight, him being so small. I mean, they told me he would have all type of issues that he doesn't have. They thought he had jaundice. They were like he was gonna have eczema, allergies, asthma, learning disabilities, like a whole list he doesn't even have, wrong with him. So I'm like, wow, this is a miracle. Like these doctors had me so scared, like all these things would be wrong with my son. He's 13 years old. He's 5'7". He plays sports like no other, and although he does have ADHD, he doesn't have any other things wrong. He doesn't have asthma. He doesn't have eczema. None of the things wrong with him that they said he would have at birth. So that was kind of my pivotal changing moment. Like, look, you got a second chance. Both of y'all are okay. Let's let this motherhood thing kick on in.
Right, right. So after having your first, you obviously had two more, and then you also have stepdaughters. So I mean, these are things that kind of just naturally, like when you start having children or you know, get involved with somebody else's family or whatever the case is, it just kind of comes naturally. So, did you decide after having your first son, like, I definitely want to have more children, or were these things that just kind of happened on their own?
The first two definitely happened on their own. They're a year apart actually. The 11-year-old is getting ready to be 12. So yeah, they definitely happened on their own. My husband is my high school sweetheart. When I went away to college, we kind of broke up. When I came back here from West Georgia, we kind of got back together, and so I had two kids in strollers. I had the double stroller and two kids back to back, and I was like, okay, it was like a whirlwind. Like my life literally changed in a matter of 2 years. So
I know it sounds like a lot. And then you said the other pivotal moment was, the death of your business partner, which is, again, like something that just sounds horrific. So what is it about that process and even, losing your grandmother too? So kind of like, what about that process really changed you? Because like you said, life is too short to be perfectionist because you just never know. So, tell us a little bit about what that was like to have, those two, major debt. Because you even said that your grandmother was the one who taught you how to sew in order for you to start Tutu Maniac. So, both of them basically helped you start your very first businesses. So what was that kind of a loss like for you? And, does it still inspire you to continue being a serial entrepreneur today?
I'll say it was bittersweet. So Tasha, my business partner, I used to call her my creative soulmate. We made so many bomb ideas together, and we just worked well together. Like on a creative level, I've never met my match until her. It was bittersweet because she was only 33 years old and she died from cardiac arrest. It was just a shock. Like literally, I talked to you one day, and the next day you're in the ICU. So that it was a shock for me, but it's also a bittersweet because it let me know that I got to work with somebody to live their dream out. Like a lot of the things that we were doing were happening so fast for us. Like Tutu Maniac was featured on 11 Alive. Like, so I got to live out my dreams together with somebody that I love as a friend too, not just as a business partner. So I feel like I can't quit because of her. I feel like I cannot ever give up. I have to continue to be inspired and inspire others because of her. My grandma, oh man, she's like a big part in who I am as a person and always will be. She was like the matriarch of the family. She had 11 younger sisters and brothers, so they even looked to her. She threw all the Christmas parties, the big Thanksgivings. She took us on trips every summer as a kid. She planned a family trip, so she will always be imprinted in who I am as a person. The only reason that I'm not as hurt because I literally talk to my grandmother every day. I spend time with her. She helped me with my kids. She's been a big help in, babysitting and just helping me with my kids. She would come over and help me, babysit or just kind of help me with the kids when they were really small. But I knew that she didn't want to be sick. So the selfish part of me was like, dang, I wanted more time with her. But the part that loved her, I understand, think why it happened and why she had to leave. So I will always remember my grandma and everything that I do because she's so much a part of who I am as a person. So she's constantly inspiring me every day. She taught me how to sew. She taught me how to grow vegetables. She taught me it's so many things that she taught me. Like I can never forget. She's inspired me as a person, just like my mom has.
Wow. I mean, and that's great. Just like it shows the importance of being able to pass along knowledge to your loved ones, just like you're teaching your daughters now how to start a business or how to run a business or how to, launch something new. It's so important that, we take the things that we love and that we're passionate about and we're talented and be able to pass them along to our loved ones. And even with your coaching business, being able to pass that knowledge down to other entrepreneurs and seeing them be successful as well. So, kind of as we begin to conclude, tell me about a piece of advice that you would give to someone similar to yourself. So say a, entrepreneurial creative girl who is attending college, even though she may have wanted to do something else. And then, life just kind of hits her fast and, she ends up in a life that and a life that she didn't plan for herself, but she sees it becoming so much more rewarding than the life that she did plan because, you have this big family now. You have, you've had the opportunity to work with somebody who, really touched your spirit, even though they're no longer here. You've had multiple successful businesses. So, from that, at least from what I hear is, life has been very good and very rewarding despite some of the challenges that might have come along the way. So, what kind of advice would you have for somebody like that?
I just want to tell them, trust yourself, okay? Trust yourself. Listen to that voice on the inside because that voice is right. Trust the process, but also live in the present. Sometimes you got to ride the wave and go with the flow because what's on the other side could be way greater than what you planned in the beginning. So trust yourself. Trust your process. Believe in yourself and don't ever stop. Don't give up. Life will continue to happen, but just make sure you're doing the things you love in the process.
Awesome. And then where can we find you, whether it be your website, social platforms, where can we follow you in your businesses?
So I'm most active on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at DeAndrea Bryd. That's the at symbol. D as in David, EAN. D as in David, REA. B as in boy, YRD. You can visit my website to learn more about me, and that's www.deandreabryd.com. You can also follow me on Facebook at Book DeAndrea Bryd. That's BOOK DeAndrea Bryd.
Great. So thank you so much for being on the show today.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Lindsay. I really enjoy your podcast, and I enjoy being a guest today.
And there you have it. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Go Getter Showcase. Please make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also, check out the Greater Now membership program for a number of perks, including a bonus semi-exclusive podcast episode, as well as our rewards program where you can earn points for engaging with our content. You can find that at www.mygreaternow.com/membership. Until next time, take care.